welcome to our discussion with my guest today, Bilal Khan, who not only is a YouTube content creator, but a software developer. And I will let you introduce yourself as well because you're working in the tech field and based out of Balochistan. So, Bilal, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. And
Yeah,
let's start with who you are and your background.
yeah, Abdullah, thank you for inviting me in this session, and I'm really happy to talk with you and share my story, and so that it can be helpful for other people also. So yeah, my background is basically I'm based in Balochistan. I'm a software developer, and I started my journey since COVID. And when the COVID hit, I lost my job. That was in Islamabad, and after that, I went back to my home. And from there, I started my journey in the tech field, in which I was trying to create not just the YouTube content, but to learn the tech myself. And in this time, I learned the programming languages, like I learned C, and after that, I moved to Python, and then I switched to Golang. And from there, I'm continuously making programs and the softwares in the Go programming language, and this is my tool for now that I'm using. So yeah, I'm a content creator on the side also, in which I'm by the channel by the name of Code Roamer, in which I'm putting like more of the technical content, like relevant to software engineering and all these things, and the thing that I'm learning mostly on the daily basis. So yeah, I'm pretty much engaged in the online communities and learning the resource stuff and sharing with other people. So yeah, this is all my background. So.
So Bill, so let's start in the beginning. You're a very interesting individual. Well, I know a lot of people, uh, you know, uh, from your appearance, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, they won't picture someone like you in the tech field. It's interesting to see someone like you, especially based out of Balochistan. Let's start in the beginning. Where did you grow up? What education, schooling, background? How did it start? What's the story?
Yeah, so my what you can say growing up is not just like in a what you can say in a big city where I had many facilities or all this stuff that many people have. But I was grown in like middle class family, and after that I completed my school in the same city in which I was born. And after that I went to Punjab, in which I completed my first or second year, and in the Punjab group of colleges. So after that, I dropped out from the university after attending some days because I was not liking that curriculum, or I was not impressed with the what you can say the education that they were the curriculum that they were teaching me. So I was trying to engage more on the online communities. I was trying to engage more on the what you can say on the tech side, but not on the path of the or the institutions, but on the path of different ways. Like I wanted to choose the path not that the education institution will recommend me. Instead, I wanted to explore these things on my own. So that's the reason I failed many times, but I learned a lot of these the things relevant to tech along the way. And these were all the experience that I got, and I took many classes from different people. I also attended many boot camps and what you can say I attended many classes online. Most of my engagement was present online, and I learned from the people online as compared to the learning from the outside world on the education institution. So mostly my education background is like high school or 12th standard. After that, I was mostly involved in the tech community, not in the what you can say on the on the institution side, but on the online side, in which I was taking these kind of learning. So yeah.
That's very, very, very interesting to hear. So I want to paint a better picture of your journey. So we'll come to the tech side and we'll jump into, the self-taught boot camps and the technology. When you were in school, what was your interest? What did you want to do? What did you want to pursue as a career or education in general? And at what point did you realize that the education that you were getting is not sufficient for your interest or somebody who is looking to grow or build themselves?
Yeah, so what I have noticed in the beginning, I was, from the beginning, I was trying to find something that really suits me. Like in the early age, when I was in school, I was really trying to find something that really suits me and I can enjoy it. But the problem was that I was not that much exploring. I was just stuck in an education institution, like in a box, in which in that box, I was trying to find something that I can enjoy it. But the education institute will not provide you these things. Instead, they will demand you the marks and the, what you can say, these kind of that they have this common curriculum for all of these people. So inside this box, you won't be able to find your what you can say, happiness or the cause that you want to pursue. Instead, you need to think about the box. So you need to wake up and you need to go about that box. So after going from that box, you can pursue your career or what you can say, go to the path that you want. So the education institution is failed in this kind of thing because they are not giving you the real context that you need to go in this life and how you can pursue your career. Because for many beginners, when they especially the children who don't have any clue that where they want to go, so the education institution is basically bounding them and forcing them to study these things, and at the end you will be succeeded based on their terms, not based on your terms. So what I have noticed is that after what you can say, completing my not high school but school, like I completed my 10th standard, and from there I realized that when I was free after completing this school, I realized that there are more opportunities that I can pursue. Like I can take courses, I can go to meetups, and I can interact with people instead of just limiting myself to school. Because from school I was free, I had some time, like 2 or 3 months in which I was free, I was pursuing more things. So in that time I realized that, hey, there are more opportunities and more things that you can pursue instead of just being stuck in one place. And from there, when I joined the college, and I had this thinking that if I continued this journey, because I had what you can say, tasted the freedom in my school of this what you can say, this freedom of getting the education from somewhere else. So this taste didn't allow me to go again into that education institution. And from there, I thought that why not escape this and take your path on yourself, so that you can learn from your experience and from the people who are making the progress in the real world, instead of just being stuck in the what you can say, walls in the education system. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting to hear, because as somebody who is personally self-taught in the tech field and self-taught with using resources online and through the networks that are available of individuals who are working in technology, if you break away from the orthodox mindset that you have to go to school and then you have to graduate and you get a job and that you'll be able to be successful, which is not always the case, because some of the most successful companies have been started by individuals
Yeah.
who didn't complete school. And I can resonate with that, and I can understand that. And I think what schooling does is there's a little bit of pressure to excel, to succeed, and especially in Pakistan, this is very common. With parents, with the expectation is that if you don't achieve certain grades, you won't become successful. But what it doesn't really teach you is, now, how do you think outside the box? How can you utilize the resources? Um, this is very important, and it seems like you've demonstrated that very well. So I guess we'll continue from with the progression that you've had. So how did you what resources did you manage to find, to start building yourself, and how did you come about those?
Yeah, so when I started my journey after 12th standard, I was mostly relying on people, like on other education institutions. Like I went from the college to the tuition education system that also is gaining like a lot of place in the Pakistan and India, in which they have a huge monopoly in this area, that they will teach the students for 3 or 4 months, and then they will claim that you will get a job after these things. But these things won't are not going to matter, because but if you have not experience, if you are not getting experience, then even if you don't have, even if you have many degrees, or even if you have many diplomas, this thing will not help you, especially in the tech space. So what I did, and this was my mistake, and I learned from this. Basically, I moved from the educational institution, like the traditional education system, to more like an untraditional educational system, like in the boot camps and tuition classes that I completed. But slowly, after some time, after taking some of the classes, wasting some time and learning a lot of these the courses that they were providing me, I learned that there is another way that you can go online. Like, there are a bunch of resources that you can take and get benefit from it. From there, I was more engaged on the online stuff, and now my journey was slowly transitioning from like the offline world to the online world. I was slowly moving to the from the offline into the online, and after that, I realized that there is a huge world in the online space in which you can get benefit from them for free. They won't charge you anything. They will just, you need to just pay for the internet. So after, yeah, yeah, this is the thing that I have realized after some time, after getting some setbacks. But yeah, it was a slow journey, but I am now convinced that there are a bunch of resources. Even the what you can say, the MIT education, the college, the resources are present on YouTube. You can take the MIT courses on even on YouTube. So this is not something that is like only limited to MIT people or the Harvard people. Instead, you can take those courses in your home by just having an internet. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So personally, when I started my online journey, I accessed those resources that you mentioned, MIT, Harvard. They had programming and computer science courses. I didn't know anything about technology at the time or like understand any of the terminology, but over the years, when I started looking at those courses more and more, I realized, when you take away the constraints of marks and exams and tests and pressure, you're able to freely explore learning without the restrictions. You're able to adapt to the learning because what schooling does, I realized over the years, is that it's sure, yeah, you can go to an educational institution, get a great, education, a degree, but you're limited in how much time you have to learn and devote, right? There's exams, there's projects, there's tests. Some people don't learn as quick. Some people are quick learners, and it doesn't cater to everyone across the spectrum. So if you take the time out to learn these resources that we can talk about, you can start learning different skills and different ideas. And back to your point about, these online resources and remote technology and the internet has connected people in a way that has never been done before. We're able to talk, you and I are able to talk. You're in a very remote area, I'm in a more, city area, but we're able to connect over, things that we do, things that we enjoy, technology is for one. So let's build a roadmap here a little bit. Technology is accessible to everyone at this point. The little kids in the villages, to the cities, to the farms, to the mountains. Do you think that the platforms and the internet that are being utilized today, in Pakistan especially, is being utilized in a successful or proper manner, or are they focused too much on social media? Because everyone has TikTok, everyone has Instagram, everyone has YouTube. You used it to excel, to better yourself, your career, your skills. Is that something that needs to be done by kids across the spectrum or the platform or across the globe?
Yeah, it
Like
depends.
how is technology being used by the kids in, say, where you are?
Yeah, it mostly depends on the background. That what background do you have? Like, if you more have a traditional background in which, what are the priorities of that traditionalism, or what are the priorities of your areas that are more focused toward it? Then obviously the social media will just showcase these ideas and that background or that you have in a more what you can say in a more what you can I will miss the words that this social media will show these words and these actions in a more in a more broader perspective. Like you will just now previously you were showing these ideas and what you can say your traditional background and all these things to some people, but now you have scaled up with the help of this social media. So it depends about on your background, that what background do you have the background of people who are mostly relevant to tech or who are mostly learning the things, but or do you have the background that are mostly focusing more on just making the reels or talking about the politics or all these things. So the social media is not something that will give you the ideas. Instead it will allow you the give you the place in order to represent the ideas, that what you have the mindset. If you have a bad mindset, then the social media will show the bad mindset to in this and you will present this. And if you have a good mindset, if you are learning the things, that as a result the social media will just be a representative of that thing. So it's not something it is not something that is inventing. Instead it is just taking a look at the background, that what background do you have. So it needs to be, the background needs to be improved, and that background can only be improved if we have a good education system, and if we have a good what you can say media in which they are guiding us instead of just showing us the reels and all these things. So it depends upon our background and the solid ethics and all these things. So yeah.
So this is basically, you're saying is that how you represent yourself on these platforms is a big thing, which is huge, because of content creation space you can have, you know, videos that are just pure entertainment, and then there's also videos that are pure educational, and you can share those stories, which is essentially what you're doing. You're not just in tech, but you're also a content creator. You're on the YouTube space. We're gonna go into the tech space a little bit more, but I wanna ask a little bit about how did you said you managed to learn English yourself. How
Yeah.
did you manage to do that? Because in the tech world right now, they're looking for people who can speak English very well, who can communicate, and you're doing it very well. So how did you start with, with learning English?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I started learning about the basics of English in my school when the teacher was providing me these guidance. And after that, I realized that this is not only the way in which I will be just memorizing the rules and not applying those rules, like the tenses, direct, activize, passivize, and all these things. But the more I implemented these English sentences and all these things and trying to communicate with other people, not with other people, but to communicate with myself. Because what I tried in the beginning, I was, after learning the basics, I went to the, what you can say, reading the books. Mostly the English books relevant to multiple topics, the self-help books. And after that, when I came to a stage when this learning is not enough for me, because I wanted to learn more and speak in a way so that I can present myself, not just to consume the information. So after some time, when the COVID hit, I came to my home. I started teaching the programming on YouTube. I realized that this is also a way through which I can present myself, not just in Urdu, that is the primary language, but I can also present myself in English. So from there, I was really nervous, but I started slowly speaking English, and from there, I improved a lot, because after making like about 400 videos, I improved a lot in this journey, especially not just in the tech space, but also on my communication skills also, so that how I can represent the ideas instead of just what you can see reading the stuff. So previously I was a reader, but now I am also a speaker that can speak and represent my ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear, because a lot, English, with people grow up watching English movies and listening to songs, but they don't fully adapt to eloquently speaking it. But you decided that, let me, use the resources I have to learn it myself, and it demonstrates in your communication. So it's great to see that. So let's go into the tech space. what is let's start in the beginning. What is the first technology stack, or the something, the tech in the tech space that you were exposed to that started your journey? Is it programming? Is it uh, you know cloud related technologies? Is it what was it? What was
Yeah.
it about the computer or cell phone?
Yeah, so basically it was just a traditional thing that I started because I was more involved in the education side. I completed first of all the course of computer basics when I completed the school, and after that when I went to the, what I can say, the college, they taught me C basics, and from there I realized that this is something that you can make the program, not just use the program, but actually make the programs on yourself. But the, what you can say, the teaching method and overall tooling, the usage of it were not that much clear. So after dropping out, I tried many things, like I learned PHP, I learned Python, C, but I was experimenting with these things. But as a beginner, I recommend you to learn or try experimenting with these languages, because there are many tools that are present in the market. But if one language or one tech is not suiting you, then you can switch to another tech stack. And this is the problem of many beginners, that they are not deciding which tool or which tech stack to use. So there are a lot of what you can say resources available online. So from there, when I came to my home since COVID, I what you can say I strictly decided that I will pursue this technology part. And from there I learned the basics of Python, and then moved to Golang. And from there I became a Golang developer, and yeah, from 3 years I have a experience in Golang. I'm making projects in it, and I have experience in it. So yeah, this is the overall journey. But the starting was from the traditional side, in which the school was responsible to teach me these things, but I was not aware of this. Yeah.
So this school that you pursued these courses in, was it a private school? Was it a public school? Uh, where how did you come across it?
Yeah, so it was a private school in which I was taking the education, but they were mostly focused on the engineering side and the doctorate, what you can say, pursuing the career as a doctor. These were the two fields that they were, what you can say, pressurizing their students to pursue, in order, instead of just broadening their, what you can say, their perspective. But when I went to the college, I was the only person who chose computer science, what you can say, major in his college. And I was the only person from Balochistan who took this course. So yeah, it was a new thing for me, but it was a nice decision. In the beginning, I was feeling really low that what I have chosen, they are not giving priority to them, and especially in the remote areas, when the people are mostly trying to get the government jobs instead of just getting into the private sector. And I was nervous about it. I was really concerned that whether I will be employable or not. So, but after taking these decisions, after taking some risk, I learned a lot, and now this is the result that I'm present. So, yeah.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. So let's talk about the uh, I guess boot camps a little bit more. What requirements does someone need to go into these boot camps? Do you need previous knowledge? If you're starting off fresh and you have an interest in technology, do these boot camps give you enough exposure and knowledge to take somebody who doesn't know anything and make them proficient and sufficient as you've made yourself?
Yeah, first of all, I would say that the boot camps are like many in big cities. Boot camps are like just a monopoly, in which the people are trying to scam you by giving you the diplomas and certificates in order to give you this kind of in order to show you that you have completed these kinds of boot camps. But for your question, I would say that if you want to join the boot camp, first of all, try to explore the online resources. There are a bunch of online resources that you can take, like Free Code Camp, Code with Mosh, and all these resources, in which there are 11 hours, 20 hours videos that are for free that you can join. And even if you want to pay, I would still recommend you to not pay for anything, because in my these 3 years, I have not paid for any course. Like I learned the Golang language where the Golang resources were not even available. And that was the time in which I decided that if the content is not available of the Golang, why not I create these kind of content so that I can learn myself and teach to the other people in the future. But for the Go bootcamp side, I will say that if you want to apply, let's say if this company that is providing a bootcamp in a more in a professional way, then I would say that you need to learn the things before by applying to this, because the more the bootcamp is is competitive, the more the chances is that they will need you as a more experienced person, like who will know some kind of thing, like who will know how the coding works. You don't need to know all the advanced stuff of the coding. Instead, you should have the basic idea that what is the coding and all these things. Because if you are going there as a layman who don't even know what is keyboard, what is mouse, or what is the CPU, then I think that it will be a hard time for you to learn this stuff, because they require the person who know all the basics, and then after that you can switch there and learn all the things, and they can take the and go for the advanced stuff also. So yeah, a little bit preparation and homework is really required, especially in this age where the competition is so much, and you can find those resources for free online also. Yeah.
Yes, so I mean, as somebody who's working in the tech field, I know personally that there's a lot of people who are coming out with computer science degrees, software developer, engineer degrees, etc. But finding very skilled talent is a challenge for companies. So if you can have somebody who's went to 4 years of schooling versus somebody who self-taught. The person who has only school doesn't have much experience compared to the person who is self-teaching, because they're exploring, they're learning how to find resources themselves, and that can help you stand out as a candidate when you're looking for a job. So yes, for people who are exploring this path, use online resources, and learning yourself is one of the best ways to do it. It takes a lot of effort and initiative, which you've demonstrated very well. So I got to ask you the question: what is this terminology that you are using these days? What is Golan? Is it Golan? I've heard of it. I've not dived into it too much. So am I pronouncing it correct? Golan?
Yeah, it's the name is basically Go if you go to the website, but many people want to pronounce it like Golang, Go language. So yeah, it is a general purpose language in which you can write the code, make the CLI applications, make the web applications, make the cloud application, and all these things. It was created in 2009, in which there were many problems that the engineers that they were facing in the Google, like they want to scale the applications up. They want to, what you can say, have the concurrent, have the application that will be doing the same thing at the same time. Like there will be multiple things that will be concurrently doing the things at the same time. And there were a runtime issue that was occurring in many programming languages, especially in Python, in which the programming was executing, and after executing, there was all the errors were given to the developers at the runtime. But what the Golang is doing is basically it will give you the errors at the on the compile when you will compile the code. It will give you the error before running it. So in this way it will be easy for the developers to debug these things instead of just running the code every time. So it is a nice language. It is simple language, more than simple to as compared to the Python, because Python has many libraries that it has. And I learned Python for some time, and after that I switched to Golang, because the Python is an object-oriented programming, but the Golang is more like is not using the OOP or the object-oriented programming concept. Instead, it is using the interfaces. So this is really the thing that I liked about it the most. And the Go developer, especially the Rob Pike, who created this Golang, he was also not feeling comfortable in the object-oriented programming because there are a lot of concepts that you need to learn in order to what you can say, deal with these programming languages, especially the C++. But the Golang made it simpler in order to just provide you the structures and the interfaces so that you can deal with them. And yeah, I find it really easy to deal with these kind of things in order to structure my project and all. And one thing about the Golang is this: it will give you a free hand in order to manage your code, because they don't have any pre-structured way in order to manage your code. You have the choice whatever you want, how you want to manage your code. And there are a bunch of what you can say clean code architectures that you can use in order to manage your code based on their principles. So you are given a free hand instead of just imposing a one kind of library or set of what you can say rules. So this is a nice thing about it. So yeah.
Yeah, so these are terminologies and words that a lot of people will not understand right now, but for those of people who are learning it, they will know what you're talking about. So let's talk about some of the your experience so far in working. What kind of projects have you built? What kind of I guess applications? What kind of things have you designed? Because uh, you said you were into software development. So I'm sure you've not only designed certain like apps or software, you've worked on front end, back end. The front end is mostly, what the representation of what the back end is
Yeah.
structuring. So HTML and CSS, which are, or JavaScript, which are running your websites, even PHP, and yeah, we can go further with some of the other programming languages. So where did you start, or what have you designed?
So my focus was, when I initially started, then I was facing a problem, especially in the front end side. When I started my journey in the beginning, like many years ago, I was not feeling comfortable in the front end side. I was really thinking that is there any kind of alternative so that I can pursue in order to work with these kind of applications and try to represent, because one thing about the front end is that you can represent the thing that you have built. It's not just about building an application, it's about representing your idea that you want to build, or showcasing your portfolio. One benefit of the front end is also is that. But I was more concerned that how I can represent my ideas even by not knowing the front end. So one thing that I noticed is that you can also build this backend applications by using this command line applications. Like you can work with the command line application, you can install, you can make a kind of library that will be installed in your terminal, or the command line tool that you can install on your machine, and people can work on these thing. So from the beginning, I decided that I won't pursue the front-end path, because this is not the thing that I like the most. Instead, I chose the back-end path. For many people, this could be the case that, especially in this our region, in the India, Pakistan, most of the boot camps and most of the courses, they are focusing first of all in the front end, and then they switch to the back end. But let's say if a person is not interested in the front end, then what that person will do? Instead, there should be alternative paths that should be given to the developers in order to, if that person is not interested in the front end, they can pursue other paths also, like making the CL applications and still be a back end developer. So yeah, it's not just about the front end, it's about the representation of the ideas also, that from which thing that you want to represent it. So the projects that I have built, built many projects. I built e-commerce projects in the before, when I started my journey, and then after some time I switched to the CLI. And after working for CLI for some time, I built like project management application in which you will be giving the project, and they will be you can manage it like just a copy of a monday.com. So monday.com is a project management tool. So I created a tool just like a monday.com in CLI. And currently I'm working on another project that is called Flow, in which you can manage your budgets, and which you can manage the how much transaction you have done, and how or what categories you have bought the what you can say you have spent the money on, so that it will show you all the targets, all the expenditure they have that you have spent on all these categories. And there are a lot of things that I'm learning on this, and I try to make it scale up. Instead of just making a few giving it a few commands, I try to make it as a scale up application, in order to make it on in a level so that other people can contribute into it. And I learned a lot in this way. And after that, I decided one thing that and this is a problem in many areas, especially in the backward countries, or the countries that are not developed, is the problem with the payment gateways. I know this is not the topic of this question, but I just want to mention relevant to this project, because the payment gateways that are not present here, the big names like Stripe, PayPal, these are all the payment gateways that are not providing the services in Pakistan and other countries. So one thing that I have noticed, and this was the use case of my project, that basically I wanted to attach or integrate a payment gateway into my application, so that anyone can pay, anyone can basically integrate my application with this payment gateway. And after that, they can manage their budget, and they can take the record of their expenditure. But after that, I realized that many these payment gateways are not providing their services. So I decided, why not switch to blockchain or crypto or Bitcoin, because these are all the what you can say coins, or what you can say an alternative that are providing these kind of services without any borders. So this is another thing that I wanted to explore. And it's pretty fun that from one project I'm moving to another project, and it is transitioning my what you can say it is transitioning my interest towards another project. So it's like a chain, like in which from one project you will learn the something, and then you will switch to another thing. And it's all about the use case, not just about learning some one thing and then learning some one thing and giving the exams at the end. No, it's all about the chain. If you faced a problem, then learn this thing. If you face this problem, then learn that thing. So a chain will be developed in which you will be learning multiple things just to accomplish a project. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting to hear, because essentially you're creating an ecosystem. That technology is basically an ecosystem. As you progress and you build these tech stacks, you put them together to solve certain problems. You went from front end, back end, CLI, etc., and then now you're jumping into blockchain technology,
Yeah.
right?
So
Which is really shaping our technology today. I mean, everything online. We're going to Web3 as well. Some people will not understand this yet, but on the back end and how these things work, there's a lot of different technology stacks that are able to
yeah, one
bring
thing
us together the way we are.
One thing that I would say, especially for beginners who want to take any kind of career in this tech industry, my basic recommendation for them is not to just pursue any kind of what you can say tech stack. Instead, try to find a project that you are interested in. Like first of all, make an understanding that what are the things that you are mostly interested in. Like if you are interested in front end, back end, or all the or other technologies, then after finding these paths, try to find the projects. And once you find the projects, if you you can ask from the chat gpt. In these days, it is really good that if you just give the chat gpt a prompt that what are the beginner friendly projects for this tech stack, then the chat gpt will give you the beginner friendly projects, and you can take any kind of project and start building it. Even if you don't know any kind of programming thing, just start building it. And by picking just one programming language that you are or what you can say that you know or that you want to know, just pick it, start working on this, and from there you will be aligning your interest and how it will make you shape your career. Instead of just reading the books or what you can say understanding about these concepts, you won't be able to understand the concepts until you apply them. So make sure to apply the concepts. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, exactly. It's one thing I learned in my career as well. the best way to do it, if you're being self-taught, is to take on projects and do it yourself. If
Yeah,
you can do theory as much as possible. There's thousands of videos explaining theory,
yeah,
but if you don't apply it and learn it in your own way, and struggle in your own way, you won't excel as much. Won't build yourself as much, and the best way, the first step is just to jump in after you've studied and stuff or you've done the theory, is to now start applying it. And technology, the whole technology field is science, applying science into the real world. Uh, let's talk about ChatGPT because you said something very interesting. This is the world of AI, artificial intelligence. So what
yeah.
is ChatGPT and what are people doing with it these days? How do you have you used it?
Yeah, it is just a simple way to describe that you will give us any kind of question and it will answer you like based on your own perspective that what you want to get from it. Previously, when the Google was present, basically the journey started like this. Previously, there was the Google was created, but before than that, the search engine was not present. And people were trying to find the information, and that time when the Google was created, it was giving you those kind of information, like there were many articles, many resources that were you were getting on the Google. But after some time, people realized that the Google is missing some kind of problem, and that is, let's say if I want to get the personalized information, the thing that I want based on my ideas that I want, instead of just getting the random articles. Instead of just scrolling multiple articles, opening them, closing them, and just to find my specific answer. So the ChatGPT is a good case for it, in which you will ask a question and it will give you the answer based on your scenario, that what you want to get. Although the result would not be perfect, but it will give you a general idea that what you want to get from this context. But still there is some kind of problems that ChatGPT have, and they are missing, especially in the text space that I have noticed. Basically, the ChatGPT is still not able to understand the overall context or the overall history of the problem. Let's say if you give any kind of problem like a programming problem to the ChatGPT, it will give you a random solution, or it will give you only a solution that is based on that specific thing. Instead, it will not be able to understand the overall context or the overall structure of that code, that what your application is performing. So this is also a problem, but yeah, it will with time it will be recovered, and there will be multiple tools that will be created. And yeah, it's all about the tech space, and the AI is doing really well. Especially the Devin is created, and it is now also doing well in the programming for the software developers. So yeah, there are multiple tools that will be created, and it's not just limited to AI. There are other technologies, cloud, blockchain, and all of them. So yeah.
Yeah, there's AI is a growing field. It's the influence and the research and the need to develop it further, and the contribution involved to AI is a big field right now. People who are learning AI, they're bringing in their ideas, and different companies are sprouting up. The next thing I wanted to ask you is, Pakistan has not had a very good representation in terms of, the tech space world yet. It's getting there because India has dominated the tech market, and everyone knows, Microsoft, Google, etc. What can the youth do, or people who are in the tech space do, to start bringing light to Pakistan, to become more a tech hub? Right now, you guys are individuals such as yourself is now marketable, desirable because you have the experience. What are some things they can do to start, being going into this market from your experience?
Yeah, Pakistan is basically there's so much talent in Pakistan, in which you can what you can say. There are many talented people who will represent the Pakistan in a good way, but the problem is this: they are not that much representing the country in a good way. Like, I have seen many good software engineers who are not even creating the content on social media. They are just involved in politics and all these things. So I would recommend to them to create the content mostly on the tech community, and being involved in that space. because what I have seen, especially in the India, there are so many software engineers who are creating content, promoting the tech space, and they are engaged in this space, because many developers who are not or are just engaged in the tech space, and they are not promoting it, is also a huge what you can say a disaster for that community also, because they are not a representative of that community. So when I started my journey as a Golang developer, I started it with my YouTube channel, and after that, slowly after some time, I many people started noticing me, because they saw that, hey, this kind of person is living in a remote area, and he is having a good skill. So that's all about the representation. I know that there is a huge what you can say education problem and all these things, but Pakistani students and young people are still able to what you can say pursue those kind of education and learn the new things. But the problem is present on the representation side, that how they are representing it, because many global communities are representing the things in a good way, and they have their tech brands, but Pakistani tech community don't have any kind of brand. So most of the brands are relevant to the organization or the companies, but not an individual person like me or you or any kind of person. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I can understand the shortcoming. I mean, what essentially there there needs to be collaboration, and this is something that other countries and other entrepreneurs and tech enthusiasts have done. Is like-mindedness has brought people together, and they're able to build these companies like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Tesla, whatever. Essentially, what we need to see from the Pakistani youth, tech enthusiasts, business entrepreneurs, is the collaboration of ideas, which technology and internet and remote opportunity has created, is now to bring those resources together, and individuals such as like yourself to represent that space, to say, I've done this, I was able to achieve this, we can do it together as a collective, which might take some time, but it's happening. I noticed that the tech scene
Yeah.
in Pakistan is growing. There's opportunities growing, but the need to have talented and this diaspora of ideas to create something,
Yeah.
I think is very important at this point. So let's talk about the Pakistani tech scene a little bit more. Companies that are coming up, should they start focusing, because a lot of them are now saying we need a degree and you need this much experience. Should they start opening their doors more to people who have interests, such as yourself, who has been very self-taught, self-accomplished, uh, this idea away from degrees and more towards skill building, people who have the skills? Is that something they should start focusing on?
Yeah, so they should focus on, because if you take a look at the global scale, education is not something an option, one option. Instead, there are alternative options that you can choose, like boot camps, like courses, tutorials, online resources. So it's not just one thing that education is providing. Instead, there are other things that you can pursue online. So I would say that if the companies are not providing the opportunities for me or other people who are an aspiring developers who want to learn these things, then at some point there will be senior people who will be having an ego problem, because beginners don't have an ego problem. They want to develop something and they want to learn. But if you become a senior person, you will be religiously stick to one technology, because you have spent 10 years or 15 years in that technology, and you don't want to switch from that technology to another new technology. Let's say if a person is not used to using, let's say, AI, then if the AI is created, now everyone is utilizing AI and they are learning the AI. But if someone is not interested in it, and someone is a senior person who has not spent his career in AI, then he will be hesitant in order to spend the in order to give the time to the AI, because there will be a new learning skill and skill set that will be required from him to excel in that thing. So yeah, I think that companies should give the chance at least to the beginners, that if they want to pursue a career, and if they, the only thing that they should look in that candidate, that whether that candidate is interested in it, or they want to be, they are explorer in that field, or whether they want to get the paycheck. So it depends on the candidate. So if they are an explorer, then there is a chance that after getting some mentorship, or after providing the mentorship, the candidate will be what you can say, exploring some new things, and making a huge impact in that company, instead of just being stuck in one place and religiously stuck with one technology. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The space to grow and work in the tech field has no boundaries right now. People who have degrees have jobs. People who have no degrees and have learned the skills have excelled equally, which is what these open platforms like MIT, Stanford, Harvard have done. Is they've opened up these, like YouTube especially has opened up the platforms to everyone to learn. There's nothing that's stopping anyone from learning. Uh, Personal. Let's. We are coming to an end of our discussion. It's been very fruitful. Uh, Personal. I guess your personal endeavor or your personal journey and what you want to do next and what you want to accomplish and what you're hoping to do with your skills so far.
Yeah, so my goal is to first of all get into the industry as soon as possible, because just by doing the open source work or being a self-taught will not help you until you get into the industry. I know that I have done many things online on my own, but there now I'm realizing that there are more senior engineers that are present, and from them I need to get the what you can say, mentorship from, because you will be present. You will be basically present in a time when, after getting from the beginner's level, you will be considering yourself more into the advanced level, in which you will be definitely needing any kind of mentors or the people who will guide you, because a person, when he starts his journey, he will be asking some of the basic questions, like how the if statement is working, how the for loop is working, all kind of basic questions. But once they get more deep dive into that field, then he will be talking more about the ideas, that how this thing will work, and can you give me that idea, or how that thing will work, can you give me the idea, and finding the resources and working that stuff out will be on his self, because basic questions can be answered by Chat GPT, Google, and all of them. But for getting the ideas, for getting the what you can say on the huge level, what you can say, taking the ideas from the huge conversation can be from the senior engineers, who will basically guide you just in few talks. So I remember when I was working on this present project that I'm currently working on, I just communicated with the senior engineer, and I know that I was making a lot of progress in that project. I was assuming that this is going to be great, but after some time I became stuck in that project, and I contacted a senior person who was working in a company, and he just gave me an idea that, hey, you are doing this thing wrong in this project, so you should apply any what you can say, another thing that is called interface. So now you can use the interface in your language in order to manage all your project structure. So just by giving the idea, although the interface learning and getting the resources and all these things was up to me, but I just got the idea, and after getting the idea I implemented the whole thing, and now it is working fine for me. So now it's not just about getting the technical things, like the basic things, instead it's about the ideas, the big things that the senior developers can teach you. So yeah.
Well, you brought up a very, very good point, actually, a crucial point in today's time, is the idea of mentorship, and having somebody who can guide you through this process, and I think that's very important, especially in Pakistan right now as well. Is the younger generation or people who are in this field, or even in general, they need guidance, they need mentorship, they need unbiased mentorship. So it doesn't matter what where they come from, where it is, because I've heard different stories of people who are from different backgrounds and how they're viewed. So the unbiased and the is a big factor to take an individual who's interested in in this whatever they're trying to excel in, and to have a mentor, have a guide who can guide them through successfully implementing or doing something and gaining a skill, such as as you mentioned that you reached out to somebody. So mentorship is a huge thing. uh, I'm trying to think if there's something else I missed, but we are coming to our 1 hour mark. I guess the last question is, um, your final advice to the youth, anyone watching this. What would you say to them? What would you advise them?
Yeah, don't be stuck in one thing, like in a box. Try to explore many things. Like if you are stuck in a college, try to explore outside the educational institutions. Learn the things that, on your own, because make yourself accountable. The more you will make yourself accountable in less time, the more it will give you the benefits in the future. Because at some amount, at some place in your age, you will be making yourself accountable. So why not this time? The more the more quick you make yourself accountable and learn the things and explore the new things, the more it will be benefiting for you in the future. So take the responsibility, be a man, and don't be shy, because if you are shy, then you will be missing a lot of opportunities. I have seen many people, especially in the global scale, who don't have any skills, who don't have any tech skill, but they just know how to talk. So if you are not talking, if you are not representing yourself, you will be, even if you are a big contributor, even if you have so much skill in the tech space, you will be just behind the scenes.
Yeah, 100%. The communication is very crucial. This is one thing. If any help book or self-development book that teaches you is communication, to express, and to be in tune with your surrounding and how you want to be perceived in that. So, Bilal, thank you for having this discussion with me. It was a great insight into your experience, and I hope that the people who are watching can benefit from you and see that you know it's possible to do all this by putting in effort. Uh, I hope we connect on future
Yeah, definitely.
conversations. As always, as tech enthusiasts and people
Yeah,
who are in the tech field, I'm gonna stop the recording just so we can continue the chat.
yeah,
But thank you for having this discussion with us.
yeah. Well, yeah. I really enjoyed it.